The other point you brought up, and I can't imagine, forgive me, it's like watching a car wreck, but the injury you had was so devastating. And what you were sort of alluding to, I mean, it was difficult. It was like watching Joe Theismann.
It was a gruesome ankle injury.
Yeah, and I'm sure you don't want to watch it or talk about it, but you never really fully healed from that. Is that somewhat true?
Yeah.
So it was so bad that it would seem like it would be difficult to just totally 100% overcome that.
Is that what forced your retirement at the end of 2014?
Yeah, pain, and then just kind of not playing the level that I was accustomed to as well. I didn't really, I didn't want to put that product on the field, and I was fortunate enough to have been successful and have that opportunity to retire. And but yeah, it was a tough injury, and it's one of those deals where, and people are going to say the same thing about Ryan Clady because he's kind of piled up some injuries, and you just never get a chance to get back to. So there's rehabbing from an injury, okay? And then there's a bunch of stuff you can't do while you're rehabbing, as far as your physical workout. So you're not at your optimum condition going into camp. You just got to go in whenever your rehab's done. So timing is an issue. If you get it done in the off season, it's not nearly enough time. And for me, I did it twice. It wasn't as bad, but I just kind of nothing took on the first one, so had to get it done again, and had an infection, and so that was kind of.
You put in 9 years.
8, yeah.
8 years.
8 years, yeah.
How much did you have a goal? Was there a certain number of years you wanted to play?
I always wanted to play quarterback for 5 years.
It changed every year, to be honest. Once coming in, I was like happy to make practice squad, and then making the roster, I kind of decided I think I can play in this thing. I can start, and I would love to play double-digit years. But I can't be mad at 8 years. That's about as good as it gets.
When the norm in the NFL,
the
the norm's about 4.5 years, so you doubled that. But I also, and this is a tough question, Ryan Clady's in a situation where he's going to have to come back again, and because he got such a big contract, there are questions, and we've even raised it here, whether really the Broncos will want to take on a continuation of that contract. You were in a similar situation.
Yep.
You had gotten and earned a major contract. How much do you think that influenced that maybe your career didn't get to continue along with the injuries, that because you had earned such a significant contract to the common man, if you will, that people went, oh, okay, we don't want to pay him that kind of money anymore. Do you think that factored in at all?
Into my retirement, it definitely did, because if I'm working year to year on vet minimum, I probably would have stuck it out as long as I could and kind of beat up my body a little bit more. Having that contract and making pretty decent money, I had the luxury of deciding.
Thank you, decent. Thank you. That's a good. That's a good choice of word. Yeah, go tell.
It's all relative, right? So if we're talking about the top level in the NFL guards, right?
It's all relative.
Yeah. Demaryius Thomas.
That's great money. So on both sides too. I mean, I'm sure coming in, Champ gets cut that offseason, right? So, and I knew I was going to retire. And anybody, your contract kind of dictates that, and obviously what you put on the field does too. So I hadn't really put anything on the field in a year. So if I was to stick around, I was fully expecting another. I had already taken a pay cut, but the second year was going to be decent, and so I was fully expecting either another pay cut or getting released.
How is your ankle, by the way?
It's better. It's not. I kind of hang around decent. It just depends on what I do.
What can't you do because of the ankle injury?
I would say I definitely don't run. Anything I do for cardio is kind of low impact.
You don't want to run anyway, do you?
No. I would like to continue losing weight, so cardio is a big component of that. So I just kind of find stuff that doesn't bother. So I could run and be shut down for a week, or I can ride the bike for 40 minutes to an hour. Not saying that I do that very often, but I'm trying to get back into it. You just don't have the flexibility, and it's there's a pain threshold that I don't want to get above a certain level I can deal with where I'm at on most days where I'm not pushing it too much.
Rick Cutchurch was here the other day. We asked him, was it worth it? Because he went through a lot of concussions and a lot of injuries over the years, particularly as a return man who's focal point of the attack.
Sure.
Yeah. Looking back on it, was it worth it? I mean, that you're going to have to spend probably the rest of your life in some kind of pain as a result of having played.
Yeah, I think that right now, definitely. As the years go on, I can't tell you what my answer is going to be in 10 years. But yeah, I loved every moment of it. I love football, and I love the relationships that I built, and I love being in that locker room and playing in games. Yeah, so definitely worth it.
Did you ever have any concussions?
Sure. I mean,
Well,
I don't know how they're categorized, at certain times, but looking back, how they're categorized now, yeah.
This portion of the big stuff is sponsored by Grand Prix Motorsports. It is located at County Line in Santa Fe. They are the home of the original motorcycle. That would be Indian motorcycles. So check out the newest line of Indian cycles at Grand Prix Motorsports. Again, County Line and Santa Fe.
Fred.
And that is Fred, Big Fred,
Santa
on his
Claus.
Indian
That's
motorcycle.
Santa Claus. That's Santa.